Good evening, YouTube. This is Tyre Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys are having a good Friday and on your way to the weekend right now. For those of you who are still working right now and trying to reach the end of the day, hang in there, please. So, today with it being Friday, you know what the deal is. It's a weekend forecast. Of course, I'm going to talk about today's ongoing severe weather threat and how we have been upgraded to a moderate risk around northeastern Kansas and southeastern Nebraska. Also, I do think that this threat is a little bit underrated for areas a little bit further east as well, because that low level jet around here is really going to pick up tonight. We're also going to talk about Saturday and Sunday's slight risk and more. So without further ado, let's get right into it. I had a really busy day at work, so I haven't really had too much time to really look at this upgrade to moderate risk. So I'm interested to see what it's going to be for. That pretty much settles it right there. Tornado and the wind threat are the main reasons why we have the moderate risk, which is a level 4 of 5. So this now includes the moderate risk having a 15% chance of a tornado within 25 miles of a given point. And it's in a hatched risk as well, which means these tornadoes could potentially reach and go above EF2 strength. Pretty significant and scary stuff here. And I called my shot last night saying that this area back here towards the west was going to be a point of interest as far as significant straight line wind damage, and lo and behold, we now have an upgrade to a 45% in that area, and we have a hatched risk. So now we have the potential for winds associated with thunderstorms, non-tornadic winds, to reach above 65 knots. Hail threat, I was expecting. We already had this, I think, yesterday, but now we're sitting at a 30%. We have that stretching all the way from Tulsa towards Lincoln and Omaha. And the hatch risk has remained in the same spot. Basically, this means hail of 2 inches or greater is possible within this hatched risk within 25 miles of a given point. So, now that we've gotten that on out the way, let's look at day 2. This area, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's a slight risk stretching pretty much from northwestern Tennessee, northwest corner of Tennessee, and now this is stretched a little bit further north, so now Milwaukee are in play. And then this marginal risk stretches all the way from the Texas-Mexico border, including San Antonio and Austin, Texas, and going as far north as La Crosse, Wisconsin. Even Green Bay, you're kind of flirting with that line between general thunderstorm and marginal risk for severe weather, so keep an eye out for the weather over there as well. Look at the tornado threat. There's still a notable threat, not as impressive as today, obviously, but it's still not 0%. So we'll have to watch this real closely. 5% is mainly encompassing the northernmost part of the slight risk area, probably where that upper level low is going to be hanging around. And then the wind threat is pretty much encompassing the entire severe weather area with a 15% around the slight risk region. And the same pretty much goes for the hail threat. Take a quick look at day 3. We'll take a look at the probabilistic outlook and look at how much of the country is in line for a general thunderstorm threat. Over 2/3 of the country. That's crazy. I mean, literally from here, from the state of Maine all the way towards the northeast part of Pennsylvania, that's dry, and then the same area that these storms are moving through tonight and into tomorrow, these areas will be dry. Up towards the northwest, or up towards the west, it's dry, but anywhere else, we have at least a chance for a general thunderstorm, and then some areas that even have a chance for a marginal risk, if not a slight risk. This threat on Sunday looks like it lends itself more towards straight line damaging winds, and we'll keep a close eye on that. But this will include areas like Amarillo, Lubbock, Midland, and Fort Stockton, Texas. So we'll keep a close eye on that. And that is the severe weather outlook for the weekend. Let's take a quick look at the temperatures. We'll be able to kind of see everything in regards to who's getting storms and who's not, just based off of this map alone. So maps looking just about at this time right now, to be honest with you. So we'll roll this forward, and you can kind of see the area where these storms have developed. Even as we move into tomorrow, we see this upsurge in temperatures, but right back here on the back side of this, that's where our storms are going to be. It'll be interesting to see how this area heats up Sunday. Expecting some 80s. I'm trying not to get too fixated. I need to include everybody on this. So, general synopsis or quick summary here basically is it's going to be a resurging ridge that forms in the south and pushes its way into the northern central plains and around the Ohio Valley. This also brings a lot of areas into play for severe weather. In the far northeast, you guys are cold. In the north, you guys are cold. And I think towards the end of the weekend, there's going to be another push for cold air around the Great Lakes region and maybe kind of coming back into the northern plains. And at this point also, even the Rockies are starting to warm up. I start to see less and less 30s and 40s, even towards the higher elevations now. Northwest, you're still a little bit colder than average, but the temperatures are beginning to rise around here. Meanwhile, in the southwest, we still have this ongoing fire threat, which also reminds me that today there is actually an extreme fire weather risk around this part here, around this section here. So I keep saying it. Hopefully people are listening, but if by some chance you are under that extreme fire weather outlook, just do not burn anything. I wouldn't even make a fire in your fireplace. I mean, the air is so dry over here right now that if you even sneezed and a spark were to come out, it would probably start a wildfire. So, come on. Just hold out for at least a couple of days. Maybe things will get better from that point. I'm definitely hoping that you guys get some rain around here soon. So, now that we've done that, let's take a quick look at the radar. Let's take a quick look at the potential radar reflectivity. Gotta get this into loop mode because somehow it came out of loop mode. Here we go. So we know that we're expecting severe weather around here, and right now there are some storms that have developed, mainly a line of storms. I think the tornado threat is going to be a couple hours out from this time. So let's go ahead and move this forward. We have a little bit of lingering snow around Maine. Meanwhile, our severe weather threat is underway, and we have some unsettled weather in the northeast. But look at how much of this has now started turning over to more rain than snow. I mean, I think winter is finally saying, all right, I've had my run. It's time for spring to take over. Meanwhile, here's our next catalyst for severe weather right here. And this is what's probably going to spark off these storms in Texas. Might be a dry line associated with it. So we'll watch that closely to see if that doesn't get upgraded to a potential enhanced risk. Let's hope not, but it's hard to say at this point. This low is also going to cause a little bit of trouble for the Midwest towards the higher elevations. You'll probably get some moderate to heavy snow still, but I do think the totals are going to be a lot less than what they've been in recent weeks. I'm also slightly concerned about a flash flood risk around the Dakotas, because there's quite a bit of moisture on the backside of this still. So that's going to be something worth watching as well. Towards the southeast, you guys are still looking like you're going to get a decent amount of thunderstorms on Sunday. This little MCS here is going to potentially redevelop on Sunday. And then we're going to get a little bit of that Gulf of Mexico moisture flow here. And then mainly around Alabama, I'm really interested to see how that unfolds here. And then in the early morning hours, maybe a few storms might pop up in northern Georgia even. But this is pretty much it for my weekend forecast. That's all I got for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, give me a like, comment, subscribe, share. Help me get this algorithm up. Help me get the word out on this channel. But this has been Ty your Metalhead Weatherman. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I will have a video up tomorrow, particularly about the severe weather again. And I will see you then.